close the night out right. Panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead. Dago from the cafe says forget about it. Leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare. Every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite.
All right, everybody, it's another Crimes After Dark episode. I think my microphone's working, right? It is working. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. By the way, while this ticker is going on the bottom talking about Dago and Logan and JJ, that's not to leave out Robin and 1-1. They just don't have a separate channel. So I wanted to make sure the people who are co-streaming with us, that your audience, for those audiences, know that why the hell am I watching Dago's channel and I'm seeing this guy on the screen? What the hell is this guy doing on Dago's show, or vice versa for Logan? So that's why we're putting that on there. JJ State of the Deep, he's getting close to having his channel launched, so I'm going to go ahead and start making sure he's in there in that pattern. Robin and 1-1, no less part of the show. Obviously, they're just they're not co-streaming with us, so just want to let you know about that. Tonight, we've got some fun. I did a members only live today, digging into more of the Kopacka stuff. I want to share with my team some of the. I found it interesting. Nothing's going to shake the earth on what I'm going to show you, but I found it interesting. I got some answers about the tower that was hit by a bullet. Some other questions, where the sniper was, who the sniper was, where the shot was taken, all that stuff like that. Got some cool stuff that we kind of, and an audio that goes along with explaining a lot of stuff. So really cool kind of stuff, I thought. So I'll share that with the panel and for a discussion thing. We'll talk about whatever else comes up for the panelists. Let's bring them up one at a time. We're going to bring up 1-1 the last, and a special announcement for 1-1, by the way. Can't wait to get to that, but we're going to kind of hold that until he gets up here, and then we'll talk about that when he gets on stage. So let's bring Dago up first. What's up?
Whoa.
How you doing?
Forget about it. Good to see you.
I took it off your face. I took it off your face.
Why would you cover up this beauty?
I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Anything special to go on today? What did you do on your channel today? Or anything?
I covered the Nancy Guthrie. I almost said Grace. The Nancy Guthrie situation. Still weird. No answer still. Doesn't make any sense, but that's really all I did today. And I messed around with trying to fine tune my soundboard and my microphone and all that kind of stuff for a while. And then I did my wifely duties, clean the house, all that fun stuff,
Nice. Well, that's good. And I did, I would like to say I did my spousal duties and took my wife out of town to pick up something that she wanted. So, try to do something and earn some brownie points there. Hopefully that works. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Shit, I'm always in the doghouse. But anyways, worked on a little bit of brownie points. So it's good to see you. I can't wait to get going tonight. And again, yeah, it's pretty open. So if you've got something special you want to talk about, we can do that. Although I have some Kopacka stuff to share.
We got a full panel tonight, right?
We have a pretty full panel.
Pretty full.
In fact, there's Logan.
Hello. Good. How are you guys?
Gone for a couple of days. You scared the shit out of everybody. You're like, what happened to Logan? You must have pissed her off.
Welcome back.
No, I seriously just needed a nap, and I thought I was good all day because I was go, and then I sat down in this chair and I was like, oh, I'm gonna start snoring on. I better jump off.
I saw one time I looked where one of your eyes kind of went. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
okay.
she's fading fast.
It was bad. I was like, let me jump off here. But how are you guys today?
Good.
Great show today. Great show.
Yeah, Guthrie is starting to creep me out because there's just some things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
I got big issues with the sheriff. That's my big issue.
Well, I think let's talk about that tonight on the show when we get going.
Sure,
We'll get the rest of the panel up and get 1-1 do his monologue. But I want to hear what you guys have to share about the Guthrie thing for sure. So we'll get into that here shortly. All right, Robin, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there and all that. How are you guys?
Hello, Mom.
So far, StreamYard hasn't muted you like it likes to do from time to time. So
yes.
Yeah. So far so good. StreamYard's behaving. So
yeah,
it's good to be here with everyone today.
What is the highlight of your day today?
This much better than work anyway. Let's put it that way.
I'll send you $5 in the mail here shortly for that plug. That was
work is good, but well, as soon as you get off work, everything's better,
Yeah, for sure. What is the phrase I used to love, which was a bad day at the ballpark is better than a good day in the office any day. So that's kind of my mentality. If you're doing something else, it was probably better than being at work that day. But anyways, yeah. So, all right. Well, it's good to have you on, and we'll bring JJ State of Deep up, and last we'll bring up 1-1. JJ, what's up? How you doing?
I'm feeling really emotional.
Oh no.
I watched the interviews with that sheriff, and
did you?
I can't contain all the emotion.
Oh shit! Like, see, everybody gets this joke, but me. I can't wait to hear about this. Was it kind of a fake emotion that I feel like you're making fun of the emotion.
It was pathetic.
There was quite a montage of him crying when he was giving interviews and things like that. But hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, denizens, meatballs, believers, and mods. How's everybody doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
Great. Yeah. Any other highlights of your day other than trying to choke back some tears as you watch the emotional performance of a sheriff?
Oh, that really just, man, that
was good.
The emotional highlight of my day is watching that montage. So
yeah,
I'm going to try to get through it tonight, guys. It's going to be hard.
Well, we're here for emotional support. Consider us your emotional support dog today.
We'll keep you up, buddy.
Yeah, I will wag my tail and shake my ass and all those good things for you. So
I'm offended, Robin. You know what that makes us if we're female dogs?
Oh shit! Oh,
There are
no,
times when
no,
I can be like that, though. So that's beware. I might bite.
Dago says, "I'm out."
All right. On that note, I'm going to get the hell out of this as quickly
I'll be
as
back tomorrow.
possible. 1-1, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
What do you
1-1.
guys do, buddy?
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you. I don't know whether to. I don't want to steal your thunder. Should I say it or you say it? What your special surprise is? I don't even know whether it should be. It should be your announcement or should it be my announcement? What do you think?
I don't know.
I
I was on the phone. I was on the phone all day. You could say it. It's fine.
Well,
This only
everybody,
happens once in your life, 1-1.
right?
True.
Right.
That is
So,
true.
We have a special celebration, you guys, to celebrate. 1-1 is being promoted to captain on Friday, so he's been a lieutenant for quite some time, right? Sergeant to lieutenant to now captain, and now it's a major accomplishment. And like he said, he's been getting phone calls all day today with people saying, "Oh, we don't want you to leave your role because it's going to change." Nice, very nice. So
That's all for you, brother.
Nice 1-1.
That's an amazing accomplishment. And I'd love for you to tell us, I know you got a monologue to do, but I know not everybody knows. I didn't know. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know. I didn't know a lot of things when I met you about police in general, because I didn't have law enforcement in my family and upbringing. I'd love for you to kind of explain what that process is for becoming a captain and the testing and the rigorous thing. And I mean, even talk about the lieutenant's test like that. I'd love to have you just explain a little bit to us about what that process is like.
Sure. So to get promoted to sergeant, you have to have. So they have an exam. It's a written exam. It's multiple choice. Sometimes it changes. Like when I took it, it was 100 questions. Now I think it's like 120. Like they're always making changes or trying to do different things with the exam. And what the exam basically is on. So we have something. So obviously you guys are aware there are laws and rules, right, that we all have to follow, and that's what when you break those rules, that's what you're charged with. So it's New York State penal law. You have to be familiar with a bunch of laws and stuff that pertains to that. And then we have something called the patrol guide. Basically what I'd say over the years, every time someone messes up or does something, they add another procedure, another thing. You have to do this, you have to do that. So it's the patrol guide itself is probably around 3,000 pages. All kinds of, I mean, some of the stuff I hate to use the word routine. There's no job that's routine. Like Dago being a first responder, he could tell you. So there might be similarities to a certain thing that you do, but it's there's nothing that's I would say is routine. So
no,
there are I'd say maybe more so of the common jobs that you respond to, like what do you do if you have what we call a barricaded EDP, which is an emotionally disturbed person? What are the steps involved? Who do you notify? All of the stuff. When do you evacuate? All the stuff that like pertain to that. And some of the procedures and some of the stuff, it's not enough just to know that you have to do something. Sometimes you have to know the order of when to do certain things as well. So that's also important. Yeah. So you have all stuff like that. And then, in there, they have procedures like, that kind of are like not normal procedures. So what do you do if an airplane crash? Like let's say the precinct you work in, you cover a body of water. What do you do if an airplane crashes? That's in there. So yes, you have the FAA and you have all these other units, but if an airplane crashes, who do you think is going to be one of the first units to respond?
Right. And
So
you got to be able
yes,
to
you
know how
may
to
have
interact with
that.
those other agencies.
Right.
Yeah.
So absolutely, yes, the federal agencies and all them, yeah, they're going to be in charge of that investigation.
Somebody
But
has
who's
to
going to
take
be
scene command.
But who's
Yeah.
going to be the first one responding, trying to rescue
Right.
victims, and it's going to be the cops on the street, like that cover
Yep.
that area. So
I
like
have
that
to know.
kind
I
of
have
stuff.
to know on the test. Do you have questions about what to do if aliens from outer space invade New York City?
No, never got anything
Damn
like
it.
that. No,
Damn
but
it.
Good question.
but some of
Good
the
question.
but some of the stuff is like
like that.
wacky stuff. They'd be like, why do they test? So, then obviously you can't have everyone getting 100 or a 90 on the test. So of course they're going to ask a bunch of questions that are not like everyday stuff. And then some of the procedures that are everyday stuff, sometimes they try to be like really, I would say, like kind of a pain in the ass, and they'll ask like the little nuance. It could be something like, in this certain procedure, you're supposed to make a second copy of a report and send it to the chief of department's office, and they'll have a question that says, which report goes to the chief. So it's not even enough to know that you have to do this report and send it to the chief of the report. You have to know that you have to send the second copy. It's like it's ridiculous. It gets a little ridiculous. It does. So,
right.
So 3.5 years on, you can take the exam. You need 5 years of service to get promoted to sergeant. When you have the 5 years of service, so then when you're a sergeant, you can take the lieutenant's exam immediately, but you need to perform 2 years of service in the rank of lieutenant. So even if you're a brand new sergeant and you got 100 on the lieutenant's exam, you still can't get promoted to a lieutenant right away. You would have to wait 2 years. And then from there, the same holds true for captain. So you need to be in the rank of lieutenant for at least 2 years before you can get promoted to captain. So you can take the exam right away, but you can't get promoted right away. And what makes it, what I was explaining to Lee, what makes it so difficult in the process, along with any exam that any of you have taken in your life, and the people in the chat. So all of these like big exams that people take, like the bar exam or a teacher's exam or any of these different like big exams, the stress and the pressure that comes with these exams. And what makes it so difficult where I work is that these exams that they give for sergeant, lieutenant, and captain. So the highest rank that you can get by taking the exam is captain. After captain, there's deputy inspector, chiefs, and all that, but they're all, you're chosen or whatever. It's discretional. It's not, there's no exam that you take. But what makes it so difficult is these exams are given like once every 5 years. So you think about it. Some of these exams, you may study 6 to 8 months. Some people even study 10 months for these exams. Going to classes on the weekend, they're away from their families, all kinds of extra studying and everything. And that's it. It comes down to one exam. And you miss that one, and if you don't pass that exam, now you have to wait another probably 5 years to take it again. And it's life-changing. It's a life-changing event, obviously. So obviously taking, it's much more responsibility, and obviously you get higher pay and all that stuff. So in NYPD, there's only 350 captains in the whole department whatever, 35,000. So
I was going to say your police force is like 35,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
30,000.
you're going from a blue shirt to a white shirt now, aren't you?
well, I already have. So
Or
once
you're
you get
lieutenant. Yeah.
right, lieutenants wear white shirts. So
See, we only had lieutenants and captains in the fire service. That's all we had, and then engineers, which is what I was, and then firefighters. So yeah, and it's way easier than what you guys got to deal with. I know that for a fact.
oh,
And we,
it's yeah.
Yeah. And
So
on the
so
street-
just to add, obviously, so I told you what you have to. Predominantly, sergeant is the patrol guide, and you have to know some laws and legal bulletins and all that stuff. Obviously, now you're studying for lieutenant. You need to know more, right? You need to know more rules, more stuff. Then when you get to captain, they have something called the administrative guide. So now you need to know all the stuff that lieutenants know, all the stuff that sergeants know, and now you have another guide that's like 2,000 pages of really all kinds of nonsense. Like they ask you a question, like in the precinct, you need to know, when do you, what's the procedure for changing the fluorescent lights in the precinct? Like this is the nonsense that you. Yeah, it's probably some of the most
that's important.
Yeah, it's some of the most boring stuff that you could possibly think, but there's probably a good 15 to 20 questions that they ask on the exam that have to do with nonsense like that.
Wow.
that's crazy.
So it's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. I'm obviously I'm happy I'm getting the promotion. I've been waiting, for a bit for it, but I can't wait to, they have a whole ceremony, and it's one of the things that NYPD actually does do very well is funerals and ceremonies and all that. And it's something really special for your family. So I love my daughter. Obviously, my daughter's not going to remember it because she's like 2 years old. But my son, he's turning 6. My son will probably remember it. So
what a great moment! What a great moment for your son. For a great moment for your wife. What an accomplishment, man! Thank you. Thank you for sharing your.
We're proud of you, bro.
Your expertise. We're very, very happy for you. And
we're very proud of you, sir.
Thank you.
Very, very proud.
What's your next step up, though? If you were to keep going, like, what is it? Some form of a chief?
So making captain, which is not. So I go from my uniform shirts and my dress uniform, they're all one bar because lieutenants are one bar. And I'm a captain, so everything is a double bar. Yeah. Above that is it's a clover, which is deputy inspector. Right. And then above that is inspector. They wear the eagle or birds on there. And then above that is 1-star chief, 2-star chief, 3-star chiefs, and then you have chief of the department. So it'll be great to do all that, but I'm happy about getting.
Like I'm done taking tests. I think I'll stick.
Well, there's no right. Well, there's no exam. There's no
exam.
No more. There's no more exam after captain.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Like every because New York is so big, from my understanding, I have a couple friends from out there, and one that works in the fire service. They're so large that like there's one like main chief that oversees the entire situation, and then there are chiefs for every district. Is that correct?
Yes. So so the 4-star chief would be chief of the department, and then the specialized, so we have chief of patrol. That's a 3-star chief. Chief of patrol would be, so New York City is broken into Staten Island, Brooklyn North, Brooklyn South, Queens North, Queens South, and actually they're just changing the Bronx to Bronx North, Bronx South. So chief of patrol, who's a 3-star chief, oversees all of that, and then each individual borough. So like where I work in Brooklyn South, there's a chief that's just in charge of Brooklyn South. That's a 2-star chief.
Gotcha.
And then his assistant is a 1-star chief, which they call the XO of the borough.
Makes sense.
And then you have, and then you also have, then you got. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for that, and says congratulations, Captain 1-1.
Thank you.
And what sheriff were you all discussing earlier? I missed this story on that. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll get into that, Sheriff, as we
Absolutely.
get past the monologue and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you so much for helping us celebrate this accomplishment.
Thank
for
you.
Yeah, thank you for letting me, explain. Anyone has any questions or whatever, off stream, or I have no problem telling people
Thank
the
you
process.
for being part of this,
involved.
part of us. That means a
Yeah.
lot. That's
Yeah,
serious.
Yes, it
well,
does.
So with
We're
your
not-
busy
not-
day of phone calls,
yeah.
did you have time to write a monologue today?
I did, of course.
Let's kick this sucker off and get little man off the bed.
Yeah. All right. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Tuesday night?
Yes.
Juliana,
Always.
Jackson, and my beautiful wife. Love you guys. I will see you later or tomorrow. Here we go. There are stories that end neatly, and then there are stories that don't end at all. They just keep circling. Tonight is one of those. 4 lives taken in the quiet hours of a college town. A house that was supposed to be loud with youth, with laughter, with tomorrow reduced to silence. Idaho 4. A case the world thinks is already... A case the world thinks it already understands. A case with headlines, timelines, suspects, and certainty, or at least the illusion of it. But certainty has a habit of cracking when you listen closely enough. Because long before courtrooms and cameras, before theories hardened into opinions, there were ripples, disturbances on the edges of the story that never quite settled. One of those ripples had a name, Brent Kopacka, a former soldier, a man carrying weight most people never see, a man whose final hours unfolded not in whispers, but in chaos, surrounded by police lights, sealed doors, and questions that arrive too late. Officially, the stories are separate, unrelated, coincidental. But Devil's Advocates doesn't exist to accept official versions at face value. We exist to sit in the uncomfortable space between what we're told and what doesn't quite fit. Because when a case this massive dominates the national consciousness, every anomaly matters. Every unanswered question matters. Every name that appears, then disappears, matters. Why was his name circulating when it was? Why did attention spike, then vanish? Why did curiosity give way to silence? And maybe the most dangerous question of all, who decides which threads are worth pulling and which ones are better left buried? Tonight, we're not here to accuse, we're not here to convict, and we're certainly not here to sell comfort. We're here to examine the shadows cast by a case that refuses to stay simple. The Idaho 4, Brent Kopacka, 2 narratives brushing up against each other in the dark. Coincidence or connective tissue no one wants to acknowledge? This is Devil's Advocates, where we slow it down, strip away the noise, and ask the questions that make people uneasy. Because truth doesn't always scream. Sometimes it waits quietly for someone willing to listen. And with that, live from New York, it's Tuesday night.
All right. Yay. We're off and rolling. I got to get the stuff off of there.
Well done.
Congrats again.
Congratulations,
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. And we're very blessed to have you on the show as often as you've been on. And if you get too busy, then we'll understand. But I know you're going to make every effort you can, because I know how dedicated you are to what we're doing. And so, but it is what it is. Love it very much. So we got a lot to talk about. So rumors are going around all over the place, and I just want to acknowledge the rumor, and whether or not we talk about it or not, but I'm hearing from so many places, rumors are going around. We're about to be bombshelled in the Brent Kopacka Idaho 4 case. More and more rumors are coming around that he's about to possibly file a post-conviction relief file, which has many of us who've been following this case for a long time believe he's got post-conviction relief options for days. Alternative witnesses that were never allowed to be presented, a coerced plea deal that was forced on him, possibly ineffective counsel, although, I don't think. Anyways, the point being is that he's got a million and expert witnesses that were not allowed to testify. He's got post-conviction relief options for days. And inside rumors keep going higher and higher. I keep getting people calling me and telling me and giving me like, hey, it's coming. It's about to be announced. And like, wow, if that happens, just today, I saw a note that said, in response to me making a video about Kohberger, saying, "Give it up, dude. He fucking's guilty. Shut the fuck up." And I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait if he files. if that gets vacated, I'm gonna pee all over that guy. I'm gonna lift my leg and I'm just gonna piss on him all day long. Like, shut the fuck up. Anyway,
Hey,
so we'll see.
excuse me. Can I make a real quick announcement? I do this on my channel all the time when it happens. If you don't mind, if you don't want me to, it's okay. But I
have no idea.
There's an Amber Alert that was just dropped out of Texas. Austin, Texas. There's a suspect vehicle's a red 2017 Ford Mustang with Texas license plate VVK2712. The missing child's name is Jaslyn Anzora, 12-year-old white female. Suspect is Henry Maya, 18-year-old white male. Please call the Travis County Sheriff's Office with information. If seen, call 911. Thank you. Sorry about that.
And that's out of Texas?
Austin, Texas. Yes.
That's funny. Austin, Texas is in the news for tonight's main topic, actually.
Yeah. Thank you, Tomboy. Yes. My apologies for interrupting, but I always drop those when they hit. So.
No, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. I appreciate that. I just told my 92-year-old dad you should be expecting big news, and I don't know. Like, I don't want to get people excited for nothing if it's not coming. But I will tell you the number of people now that are telling me they've got inside information that this is coming makes me. And some of these people I know pretty well. I'm thinking they probably is happening.
Yeah,
I feel it.
There's some people. There's some people in the community that are, they're pretty well trusted, that are like doubling, tripling down, saying,
staking their reputation.
They have sources. They have inside sources. They're not revealing the sources, but saying that there's one person in specific that said that the only thing that's kind of holding it up is there's still something going on kind of behind the scenes with the leak investigation. And once that kind of finishes up a bit, or something happens with that, that the WSU lawsuit is probably going to be put on hold, because it's a civil lawsuit, and that whatever happens with the post conviction relief and all that is going to. So unfortunately, this is probably going to be a long. I feel bad because it probably is going to be a long haul for the parents and all the families involved. But
for sure,
the truth has to come. The truth has to come, or at least something, right?
My spidey sense.
Right, absolutely.
Well, guys, if he gets exonerated, or basically gets freed,
if the plea deal gets vacated or something,
if anybody who has followed the case on Reddit, there's a few different groups. There's like the one main one that's all about he's guilty, you guys are crazy. And then there's a few other ones that are more open to people discussing different theories, different information. If he gets out, I am going to be the biggest dick on that other main Reddit page. Like I am going to, I'm not going to be nice. I am going to be like, you fucking assholes who shit on everybody. Who question anything. I'm going to let it fly, man. And it's going to be so much fun. I really hope it happens.
The guilters will still find a way to make it work for them.
Yeah, they'll still try to twist it, but
it's funny. I actually asked my wife this question today. I said, if you were, there's a people who are out there like Brian Kohberger is guilty, shut the hell up. If he gets post-conviction relief and they vacate the plea deal, how many people of the people who believe he's guilty do you feel will suddenly say, wow, maybe I got this wrong? And my wife was like, probably maybe 5%. I'm like, yeah, probably right. Probably less than 5% would actually change their mind and go, oh, maybe I did get it wrong. But
They'll say something like, "Oh, maybe somebody did it with him, but he still did it."
Right.
Mhm.
That'll be the yeah, for sure. That'll be.
I always
So-
say people will march to their death before admitting that they were duped or that they were wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Especially
sure.
if they were arrogant pricks about it and then realize they have to eat shit. They're like, I'm not eating shit. I'm going to stick by this I'm ride or die on this conviction thing. You got the right guy the first time. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say or who comes forward saying they did it. It's fucking the way I said it was, period.
Either that or they'll completely disappear and we'll never see them again.
I can't wait to
Um,
hear how the media spins it if that happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Oh, I
feel
can't
like
wait.
we're getting a little ahead of ourselves because we don't know for sure. This is again
Right.
rumors, and maybe we're all talking about how fun it'll be if it's true.
Oh yeah.
But in reality, like again, people accuse us of being Kohberger supporters. I'm truth supporter. I just want to know what really happened.
Right.
And I don't believe we know what happened right now. I don't give a shit who did it. I want to know the truth and I don't want to have questions about it. That's what I don't want to have questions about it. And I have too many questions.
That would mean that
So-
some truth had to come out for that to happen. So yeah.
Right.
I wanted to
and we have
mention.
so
I
little
wanted to
truth.
mention something real quick before I forget. Not super off. That has to do with Kohberger. Well, with Idaho 4. I did hop into Logan's show earlier, and I just want to mention she had glitch DNA on. Super interesting, and thank you for using my question or a few of the questions. Her analysis and her explanation was was amazing. So I basically my question was asking if she, felt that the knife sheath was planted or not. Like, what was her opinion? And I wasn't expecting the answer that she gave, and the answer that she gave was like, obviously she doesn't know the answer, right? But
Right.
what she thinks that there may even be a strong possibility that knife sheath didn't even belong to one of the perpetrators, that it could have belonged to one of the girls or one of
Right.
the victims, which
Right.
is a
That
very
is-
good point. And
Yeah.
she also,
Yes.
and then she also explained that she doesn't believe that from, I don't know all of her expertise and everything, but obviously she knows more about DNA and wounds and stuff than I do. She explained how she doesn't even think that the K-bar knife is the knife that made the wounds. She thinks that it was some kind of double-edged weapon. And that was super interesting to me. So
Very
I just wanted to mention
interesting.
it before I
Yeah.
forget.
That is super interesting. And and I know there's been a lot of discussion about whether or not the K-bar knife was the one that did it. There's been indications it could have been a hatchet or could have been more than one weapon. And that's been the $1 million question because they hide behind fuckery. The wounds are consistent with wounds that could be made by a K-bar knife. That's what they keep saying, consistent with, and that's their way of getting around with. We don't know if it was made with this, but it could have been made by that knife. So it's consistent with wounds that could have been made by that knife.
Well, and
But,
you guys really don't know Sarge, but he's a big part of my channel, had been for years, and took a break when Brian took the plea deal. Sarge's theory on this forever was that either Maddie or Kaylee had that knife and or sheath, per se, if it existed, as a protection for themselves, and that they tried to use it to defend themselves, and it was turned on themselves. That was his theory forever.
Yeah.
So,
Right. And
Very
then I know
interesting
people
you
would
brought that
say,
up.
right. And then like, I know people are going to say, okay, well, there's no knife there. Yeah. Because if they had it as protection, the perpetrators could
Took
have
it with
easily taken the knife from them,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, is that the Sarge that you said you talked to, like the guy that has a channel called the Sarge, and he's
No, his name is
oh,
actually Sergeant Friday. But we
Okay.
just called him Sarge. He
Gotcha.
was in here constant. He was all about the Constitution and
Yeah.
oh boy, he's
That's
from
good.
upstate. Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
dude.
All right. If you guys will permit me to transition us a little into some stuff that we discovered today and get your opinions on it. I want to show you on screen. Is it already on screen? Let me see here. That's not what I wanted to have on screen. I just removed Dago. No, I just added Dago. How about I get the right fucking thing off the screen and the right thing on the screen. Yeah, here we go. I wanted to remind you of something so we were doing, I'm still going through public records requests that we've obtained already, and there's more coming in. I'm getting public records faster than I can go through them. And I'm about to get public records from Kentucky State Police in the Letcher County case as well. But what I wanted to point out to you is something that we looked at the other night, which is this, what I'm going to bring on screen, was again Brent Kopacka's phone. And I know some people don't want to talk about Brent Kopacka. Everything I'm going to share with you right now, just for discussion purposes, is just the members only live found this interesting, and I'm hoping you guys find it interesting as well. The questions about, remember there was questions about Brent Kopacka shooting out the window and hitting a water tower or hitting a tower. I think I more fully understand that. I understand several other things that I didn't know, including where the sniper shot from and who the sniper was. And so I got that all figured out. And maybe a lot of you already knew this, but I thought it was kind of cool enough to show with you guys. But the one thing I wanted to tie into the Austin, Texas thing is this. So Brent Kopacka's phone, this is outgoing calls on his phone. And I showed you before that Brent Kopacka, during the standoff, starting at least, here it is at 10:28 p.m. So the call came in at 8 something at night. By 10:28, he was calling out, making outgoing calls, 16 seconds, 2 seconds, 19 seconds, and so on. Frantic calls going out to a phone number in Texas, in Austin, Texas. So remember you were talking about Austin, Texas and that Amber Alert. And I said, oh, that's interesting because that's a tie-in to where I want to go with that. So that was Kopacka calling out to a phone number. Sorry, this wasn't in Austin. This was in Southeast. We're going to get to Austin. This phone number is not in Austin. So let me correct that. I'm going to show you the Austin tie-in in a second. This, by the way, also from Texas was that same number texting back to Brent Kopacka. This is Kayla with the Pullman Police. And I said, why is a Pullman police officer using a Texas phone number? And sure, maybe that Pullman officer came from Texas and never changed their number from Texas, but it still left me with a million questions because there's a lot of questions about Texas and the Idaho 4 case. It's along the drug corridor coming across the Mexican border. There's talk about fentanyl coming across the Mexican border. There's talk about Aryan Nights and all kinds of stuff. Just a million things with Texas. And Kaylee was taking a job in Texas. And then this, which I found interesting as well. This is this one of 2 public records requests that got submitted to me. By the way, when you submit a public records request, that becomes part of the public record. So when I asked for the public records on Brent Kopacka, they gave me other people's requests for public records, including this one, who's a Jennifer from Allen, Texas. And there was another person who was from Texas. Early in this investigation, multiple people from Texas were asking about the Pullman, Washington, Brent Kopacka situation. And I still, at the back of my mind, I'm trying to figure out why the fuck is Texas interested in Brent Kopacka, and why is Brent Kopacka calling Texas? What is the Texas connection? I just want to get your thoughts on that for the moment. What all those Texas bullshit? I mean, there's 50 states, people. Why Texas?
Yeah.
It is interesting for sure.
Yeah.
It's super weird. So the question as Aquarian's asking, I thought Kopacka's cell phone was reset or wiped. Let me address that. So yes, but I think I understand an answer that answers everything. So Darren Duncan, best friend of Brent Kopacka, said when they arrived at Kopacka's place the day after the shooting or whatever, that he had no furniture in his room and his phone was on the counter and had been factory wiped. And that doesn't mean it was factory wiped before the shooting or shortly. Like, I don't know when it was factory wiped. So that's the thing. The pictures they show of Kopacka's phone prove that it wasn't factory wiped. There was outgoing calls, there was incoming calls, there was activity on his phone. So somewhere after law enforcement took photos of his phone and before the family picked up his phone, if you believe Darren Duncan, the phone had been factory wiped. So that leaves you with the question, who wiped it? Did law enforcement wipe the phone after they took pictures and documented things and evidence and then wiped the phone? Did a roommate come in and wipe his phone for some reason, for some other reason? Did anybody who had access to his phone wipe it, and why? So I don't believe the phone was wiped when they took pictures of his phone, but I think that sometime between when the police department photographed his phone and documented his phone activities, somebody wiped the phone, if Darren Duncan's story is correct.
I mean, to me, that's a huge issue. You know, we have whatever I guess you want to call it, crime scene photos, and like you just showed pictures of text and call log from his phone. So clearly his phone is working. And if that's accurate, that his phone is wiped and now has nothing on it, I mean, I don't know how you don't say that's evidence tampering. I mean,
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's a good question. One, like you tell me. So it sounded like Darren Duncan went to the apartment within a day of the shooting. Should that phone have been in police evidence? Should it still have been part of confiscated
absolutely.
police evidence?
Where's the chain of custody? What's the chain of custody? Who was watching? Where, when was the phone, when was the phone taken into actual custody, or was it still laying there? But if you have that, where's the list of all the officers who were watching this crime scene? Someone messed with it. You can narrow it down to who, and now you're going to say, well, what if they didn't log in certain people? I mean, I can't do anything about that, but they're supposed to maintain it's a crime. It's a crime scene until it's not a crime scene. So everyone
the story I heard, I think, sorry, but the story I heard was that you said Darren, yes, but he said that his brother, Brent's brother, was with him when they went to the house or the apartment. I'm sorry, and they found the phone wiped on the counter. Brent's I always mess this up. DD 214, which is the discharge papers were there.
Paper, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think a bed or a mattress. That was it. There's nothing else in the apartment. So that's what I didn't. If that's the same story you heard, I just wanted to clarify if that was it.
The story that
doesn't make sense. That makes no sense.
The story I heard, because I had the interview clipped of Darren Duncan on the Rav show, and he said there was no furniture in Kopacka's room. There was a safe that was open, a few broken electronics, and his military discharge papers. And then he added, and we found his phone on the kitchen counter, factory wiped. And the guy was with him said, that's weird. And he's like, it's super fucking weird. So that's the conversation I remember. It was a safe, some broken electronics, and his military discharge papers, and his phone had been factory wiped.
But even that doesn't make sense. Even that doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that he's lying, because obviously this was police involved shooting, right? And Kopacka was killed. All of his belongings, all of his clothes, anything that's his property should be going to his family. Why would papers and a phone just be left on? It makes no sense.
I never really asked. I know everyone here is pretty aware of the Kopacka shooting. Logan, have you paid attention to a lot of the Kopacka shooting as well, or?
Yeah, I watched all the body cam and stuff that you released and talked about it.
Yeah. I want to play devil's advocates, because again, a lot of what we're focusing on and the phone was factory wiped is coming from one person, right? It's Darren Duncan. So to play devil's advocates, could Darren Duncan have been wrong? Could it have been somebody else?
But even if it wasn't, but my point is, even the procedure, sure, they may have different rules and stuff. I guarantee that someone who, dies from police, there's some kind of crime scene, or whether it has to do with police or not, some random person, oh yeah, I'm this guy's friend, he's not just going to be able to just come in and take his pay. Like this stuff, whether the phone was factory wiped or not, it should be going to someone in Kopacka's family. It wouldn't be just left on it. It's super suspicious, and it makes no sense.
Explain the brother.
It's also like, remember the whole Thomas Crooks situation with the Butler, PA shooting. His apartment was completely cleaned out. They could find initially no digital footprint of this 20-something-year-old kid. So this is the kind of thing this is why people question things, because why is there so many unusual things surrounding, if not this case, the Idaho 4 case directly, peripherally? And it just screams fuckery, and typically fuckery comes from the top down.
Yeah.
And we saw
Top-down
photos
fuckery.
of that apartment, Lee.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the way that story sounded, because I did hear the same thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It made it sound like the phone was on the counter, the paperwork was there laying neatly on a bed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what we saw. That room was trashed. There was shit broken everywhere.
Yeah.
Windows busted out, it was just all over the place. So that doesn't, it's hard to
Right.
line those two up, in my opinion.
And I get
Yeah.
that they probably went into this. They probably got the papers. I imagine were probably in the safe, but you wouldn't leave anything there. All of his
No.
property would be taken back for safekeeping until you can give it to the family.
Now I don't have the video to show you. I have an audio to play for you, and then I want to show you some map stuff. What's up?
Oh, no, I'm trying to fix my camera.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh,
you look
okay.
blurry.
Like- I got an audio that I want to play a little clip for you. I didn't have the video, and I should have brought this up, but we had a video today of a body worn camera where they showed a long shot of inside the apartment of 311 with zero furniture, zero things on the wall whatsoever. And you add that to Kopacka's room, didn't have any furniture. And I had some people challenging me, like, if you had done more research, DA, you'd know the answer to why there's no furniture. You'd have the answer to why Kopacka had no furniture. And I was trying hard to get them to why don't you just tell me, rather than say, if you'd done your research, you'd know. Just tell me what I'm missing. The best I can come up with is some say that the apartment had been recently painted, so that's why the front room has no furniture. Now, I don't know that you need to completely evacuate all furniture from the building. You could just move things to the middle of the room, put tarps over it, and paint the walls. But apparently that might be an answer to why there's no furniture in the living room, is because it recently got painted. And again, we saw a document that said something about a BK, that their apartment had recently been painted. As to the answer, and then I'll ask you guys for your thoughts. As to the answer why Kopacka didn't have any furniture, it sounded like they said, well, if you heard the roommates, he had a history of beating up and breaking all of his furniture, so he just didn't have furniture anymore because he breaks all his furniture all the time. He's in a habit of breaking all his shit, so he just didn't have furniture because he'll just break it anyways. Have you heard?
What about the rest of the apartment then?
What about the rest of the apartment? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So for me, it didn't pass the sniff test, but I'm like, okay, but at least there's some devil's advocates positions. Oh, it's nothing, but yeah.
I don't really buy about the complete thing about the painting either, because anytime I've had anything, I mean, yeah, sure, you move some stuff, but unless you're redoing the floor and everything, I mean, if you're just painting, you put tarps over. I don't know. It just sounds a bit odd.
And the other thing that they said was, if you look in his room, you'll see it. And I looked in those photos again of the room. I don't see evidence of a busted up dresser. I don't see evidence of a busted up bed. I see some box spring kind of stuff that could have been a mattress, but it doesn't even look like it's the size of what do we want to call it, a single? It's just a very small amount of, I don't even know if it was a bed, and it had no sheet on it at all and no covering. It's just pure bare wires. I don't even know how to explain it. And I don't see furniture there at all. I saw a microwave, which goes along with Darren Duncan's. There's some broken electronics in the room, stuff like that, but it was mostly trash. It was mostly garbage everywhere and not furniture. All right. I want to do a little bit of a laying down where the shooter was and some of the answers to some of the questions. Real quick, I want to play an audio for you. Hopefully I will play this audio for you, and you guys will have to tell me whether you hear the audio.
Lee, why don't you play the audio for it?
You know what? Why don't I go ahead and play the audio first? All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're going to listen to the audio.
402. Go ahead.
Do you hear it?
Do you know which apartment it is that they're in? Are you asking me where the students are? From. If you didn't, I was going to try to give you directions because I can see them. Firm, I believe it's the 5th floor from the top, the Stevenson South Tower. That's about right.
All right, that's some radio dispatch. So during the conversation with the law enforcement, I heard a female officer talking about how she's at the Stevenson complex, and then he asks about the students. and what floor they're on. And she said they're the 5th floor down from the top. He says, that's about right. I see them, whatever. And so we got into a deep dive of understanding a bunch of shit. And I wanted to share with you what we found. I just thought it was interesting for those who kind of want to get a picture of what happened at that scene. So let me put that on screen for you here. All right. All right. This is the coffee house apartments. This is the front side of the coffee house apartments. And behind us, and I'm going to turn on a tool. No, we're going to turn on this tool. And we're going to use this tool to circle that. So that building back there is the south tower of the Stevenson complex. That's, I think, probably the north tower over there. And there's something in between. And then there's a building behind it that's known as the east tower. But that right there is the south tower. So the back side of the apartment where Kopacka was shooting out the window, they said, one of the shots they said hit the tower. I believe now that's the tower that they're talking about. It hit the south tower. That's what they think. It hit this. Some of us thought we heard water tower. There's no water tower that you can hit from anywhere near here that I have found. But the south tower of the Stevenson complex would make total sense.
Yeah.
And if you're looking, Latah Street's down low, and up here, if you can see where I'm up there, is the higher street. So there's a berm there that. So we're down low, and then this is an elevated street. So everything's up higher. So I'm going to show you another picture here. And this is, let's go to actually this. So I'm going to go to this shot. This is the coffee house apartments down here. Let's turn on my little tool again. So this is the coffee house apartments, and this is the south tower that we were looking at a minute ago. So Kopacka's room about there, firing up at an upward angle could hit the south tower. That's probably the tower I think that they were hitting. A lot of you probably already knew this. Right here is there's a walkway, a staircase that leads down. And one of the pictures we've seen before, Kopacka's room, you could look out and you see a staircase, which fooled a lot of us into thinking that it looked like he was on the ground floor instead of the 3rd floor, because you can see the staircase, and the way that the picture looked, it confuses a lot of us to this day. I believe the sniper was right here. And I'll show you that in a minute. So this is, there's radio traffic that I won't play for you, but the officer is asking for Celis to be cleared. This is Celis Calzone and Pizza. It's a great elevated shot to the apartments there overlooking the coffee house apartments. But right in, and feel free to interrupt me at any time if story time is annoying the shit out of you. Kopacka's room would be between this red spire and another red spire you can't see right there. And Kopacka's room is kind of tucked in an alcove right there. So from Celis, I don't think the shooter could shoot from here. I'm going to show you a little bit more as we move out of this. So if we move down here, see all this thick brush? I had heard on the audio chainsaws, and I thought they're sawing down trees to get an angled shot right straight into that window from this location. However, it may be a little bit different. So, and there's that staircase, by the way, if you can see it where my mouse is at. That's the staircase leading down to the parking lot. And then we're going to go a little bit further over here. This is almost a direct shot into, oh shit. This is almost a direct, oh shit. Okay, well, there is a direct shot. That's that same look right there. Do you see that right there? If I were to turn on my little tool, that's the window that I believe Kopacka was shooting out of. This here is apartment B, and the balcony that goes straight across from the hallway would look out there. So I always thought, how the hell is he shooting from the balcony out on the thing? How's he shooting out from, he's not in apartment B. He's actually in apartment C, which has this tucked in window and a retaining wall kind of here as well. So the sniper sets up right about in here, and whether or not and by the way, this photo was taken from Google Maps about 5 months ago. So the trees may have looked different, years ago in 2022. So I don't know if they had saw it. We did get a picture, by the way, and I think I can show it. Here, by the way, let me show you one more thing here. This is the shooter in the camo with the red beard. So that's the shooter. That's his rifle. That's that Finch sign you saw in the shot, and the angle of the shot would be somewhere going this way towards the thing. So, and this is the shooter's vehicle as well. So I wanted to show you a few other things real quick, and then we can talk it all out. This is where I think the shooter was basically there in that picture that you saw. And I wanted to show you just a few more pictures. So that's the sniper. That's some gear that was in his truck, and that's the truck. So on the audio, if you were listening long enough, you'll hear about them clearing this, which is Zoe's kitchen and the gas station. And then a little further towards the camera here is where Celis Calzone was. So this is the sniper's vehicle that parked up there, the shooting position very close to where he's at. And so anyways, I just wanted to share, because if you get the visual, you can see how an elevated shot out the window up into the air is actually going towards campus and would have possibly hit the south tower of the Stevenson complex, which is why they said, I think that bullet hit the tower. They also talked about the bullet hit tree branches. They saw that the bullet hit tree branches. So again, indicating that maybe they had to clear tree branches. So anyways, it does not change a fucking thing about what happened that night, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless to share with you guys on some of that. We started to dive into it and go, oh, that's exactly where the shooter was. So anything you always want to comment on that, or did you find it boring as hell, or somewhat interesting, or what?
No, it's good. And I
It was
when you
interesting.
covered it I think like a week ago when they showed pictures of the shooter. I told you
Right.
that you came to a conclusion. That's probably the shooter. Like, why who is this guy? Like, you know,
you were like, they would have cordoned off that car.
And that's kind of like a common practice. If you're involved in like a police shooting, they take a picture of all the gear that you have on, like what are you wearing, what was on your belt, and all that. So.
Yeah, I don't know the question. Somebody asked whose payroll was the sniper on. I don't know what agency he's with. Was it Pullman, or is it Pullman SWAT?
I believe it was Pullman, and that he was Pullman. This was explained that he was part of the SWAT team as well as a Pullman police officer. That was a expert sniper, whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah,
that's how I understood it when I heard it.
Well, the problem that keeps coming up in my mind is that we know so little about Kohberger, about why he was in the area, which to me is an important thing, right? Why wouldn't, like, if I was an investigative journalist, I would be saying, this guy is in his 30s. Why is he
You mean Kopacka?
Yes.
Yeah, you said Kohberger. And I was
sorry. The BKs, they just drive me up a wall. But why is he in the area? Like, you would think there would be a little more people, quote unquote, journalists in the mainstream media digging into that aspect of it because it's close to this other major case, but nothing, crickets, right? And then he's shot in a standoff supposedly, but no information about him. I mean, it was all basically swept under the rug very quickly. And had it had not been for the Idaho 4 case, his name would have been forgotten and gone with the wind.
And you couldn't access the Kopacka files for a long time. People tried. We all tried. They wouldn't let you touch anything. And which made no sense. They said it was an open investigation, but he's deceased. What the hell is open about it? He's gone. What are we investigating at this point? Okay, it was an officer-involved shooting. It's dead and done. But for months upon months upon months, nobody could access these records. So that was always weird to me.
Yeah. And also, by the way, I did notice, and I feel like it's bad because I feel like people are going to get tired of talking about Kopacka unless there's something definitive. Nothing definitive has come out, but I'm still in the middle of obtaining a crap ton of files, including, I haven't seen yet Whitman County Sheriff's Department. And the cool thing about that is it's going to be a completely different agencies, and every agency redacts things differently. The other thing that I was clear on today and in our members only live is that Washington State Patrol was the lead investigator over the whole thing, and they didn't close the Kopacka file until Washington State. I don't think I've even gone after Washington State Patrol's files yet. I've gone after only Pullman Police Department, Whitman County as well. So now I realized I need to go ask for Washington State's ultimate conclusion of the investigation into Kopacka. So
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Very good point.
Do you guys think that maybe the reason we couldn't, like you were saying, Dago, you couldn't get the files before is because they were waiting until all the awards had been handed out? Because all kinds of officers got awards after that
Yeah.
happened.
Could be. I mean, I don't know why they would
I
do
mean-
that, but I mean, that could
Well,
be.
I will
It's-
say the investigative file into, so there was several, I will say this, we read on the air today, several people were asking for public records requests, and there was email exchanges saying, when can we provide public records that are being requested?
Yeah.
Because they're saying it's still listed as an open investigation. And they said, and the answer was, yes, it remains an open investigation until Washington State Patrol concludes their investigation. So Washington State Patrol kept it open for almost a year before Washington State Patrol closed the investigation, and then they started releasing public records.
What are they investigating?
I think the department's handling, like the Pullman Police Department's handling, and the Whitman County, and making, because there was specific language. They were looking into one officer involved shooting, so the OIS.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a protocol that they said they hadn't followed properly when there's an officer involved shooting. So Washington State Patrol was still asking for making sure that they had done the proper protocols. So there was an ongoing investigation from Washington State Patrol, which again is the reason why I kind of want to go after Washington State Patrol's public records on the
Yeah.
thing that they
I heard a
concluded.
lot about them, by the way. People keep asking me in regards to that if we've seen this or that from WSU or WSP, and I'm like, no, I have no idea if there's anything out there. So I refer to you when it comes to that because you have access to all that stuff, and haven't, you said yourself just now you haven't got any of that stuff, and I wondered how involved WSP was in this. That's my question. So
You know what
Yeah.
else I don't recall ever hearing? A statement from the military. This was a decorated war veteran.
Right.
And
Yeah.
right? And you would think
Other-
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
spokesperson from the 82nd Airborne or
Yeah,
you
you
know,
would
they
think
have
so,
PR
yeah,
people
yeah.
for the military that they would make some kind of a statement, or they, you know, like, think about it. It's a decorated vet gets killed in a standoff, not a peep from any, you know, brand,
other than his obituary where they did relate to the military, that was it.
Yeah.
Though, you're right.
Right.
a decorated vet, and no statement from some talking head in the military.
Pretty
So
wild.
it's
I want to show. I found
strange.
something that I wanted to share with you. I found this real quick. Let me put that on screen. So this was about the investigation, December 5th, 2023, a year later. Sergeant Boyd says, I wanted to let you know that we are closing out the final details of our report. This is Pullman, the police department. In the process, we discovered that there are some IBR. I can't remember what that stands for, so somebody can remind me. We discovered there were some IBR complications. One is that we must document the justifiable homicide for IBR. IBR requires that we list a victim and an offender for a justifiable homicide in Spillman. We haven't done this yet. We wanted you to be aware that this is an issue that we are addressing. So the case was open. Washington State Patrol was still investigating the officer-involved shooting, and whatever IBR stands for, I forgot what it was.
It's incident-based reporting.
There you go. Incident-based reporting. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
So what does that tell us? I don't know if it tells us anything other than they had procedures to follow when it comes with and they need to list a victim and an offender. And so they were having problems. It hadn't been properly identified as who the victim and who the offender was. It sounds
They're one and the same though.
Well,
the victim and the
was,
offender, wouldn't it be listed as one and the same?
I'm thinking, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking the victims they're going to list are the roommates that who he threatened to kill.
I'm
And then
sorry.
the
Okay, I
offender
missed
is Brent Kopacka and his weapon charges threatening to kill his roommates. I'm guessing, but I don't know.
I got you. That makes more. I was thinking, okay.
What happened to Kopacka's dog tags?
I don't know. Good question.
No idea. That is a good question.
It's not shown in the inventory of anything, and so I don't think he had them there.
Weird.
By the way, one of the woman who requested public records on Kopacka from Texas, I looked her up in public records search, which includes criminal records. She has no criminal record, but it did list a probable occupation of a physical therapist. And I was like, well, that would be weird. I mean, again, I don't know that Brent Kopacka ever spent time in Texas, but he did have a back injury, right, from the IED explosion. So did he have a physical therapist connection? But again, she claims that she's Pullman police, and there is a Kayla. There's a Kayla loop from Pullman police at the time, and there's two Kaylas there. Neither one seemed to be the person that should be doing police negotiations, however. That's the other problem. So I don't know. I still don't know the story of Texas. Why is
unless it was
Kopacka
somebody
calling
he was a little closer to?
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Somebody's a little
That's
closer
the only
to.
thing that makes sense.
And Kopacka seemed to be calling Boise, a number in Boise, Idaho, a number in Texas, a lot, and a number somewhere in eastern Washington. They said Pullman, but I think 509 covers the entire eastern part of the state. So the point being is that Kopacka made a series of frantic calls to 3 different places: Boise, somewhere in the eastern side of Washington state, and Texas during the standoff, which again goes against the idea that Kopacka was unresponsive when he was actually trying. I mean, literally, if you run it through ChatGPT, they'll say it's obvious Kopacka was trying to reach out for some help. He was calling people, trying to get somebody to listen to him, and his phone either wasn't working or was being jammed, or I don't want to say being jammed because that sounds so conspiratorial, but for whatever reason, his calls aren't going through. And so there you have it. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's definitely a strange situation. Sorry.
All right. Well, I don't have anything new for Idaho 4, and a good hour of our show's gone by. You guys had some discussion about this sheriff making an emotional thing in the Guthrie case. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or do you want to, you want to share with me and bring me up to speed on that performance, I guess, today? Or anybody got a clip? Does anybody have a clip, even better yet, from a news agency where you can see the performance?
Yeah, I could. I think we all probably have. Logan, Joe, anybody?
Not pulled up. I don't have it pulled up.
I just watched it,
I'll
at
grab it.
work today. Like, I think Megyn Kelly did a little compilation of all his when he was doing interviews, and he literally she showed the clips of the crying part. So I don't know, man. It's just pretty strange.
You didn't feel it was terribly authentic, I take it.
I mean, I didn't see it in context. I just saw the clips. So, I mean, if you're a sheriff, it to me, as I've said before, I think this smells like an operation because of the way that they're dragging it on, and they're like a distraction. They're just keeping the public glued to the TV. Oh, she's been gone, and we hope that she's alive, and they keep on pushing it and dragging it on. And I have felt that was the way that it's going to go, because it's a distraction from other things that are going on. And Savannah Guthrie works in the mainstream media, and anybody who knows about the mainstream media knows their connections to the government. So I haven't trusted it from the beginning, and now even less so when I see this kind of shit.
And the Guthrie or Savannah put another message on it out, and they put out up to $1 million reward for recovery of Nancy. This came from the family. It was a family reward, she said. As I'm pulling this up, I just thought I would throw that out there in case you guys didn't see it.
Is there anything to the I'm looking it up. Hold on. I was going to ask if there was, so I've heard some crazy conspiracy type theory stuff, and I'm not a super fan of too far crazy out conspiracies, that Savannah Guthrie's career was tanking and she was on the way out, and now all of a sudden she's having this revitalization of her career because of this whole thing. But to speculate that somebody would do something of a colossal nature to just revitalize your career seems crazy. But
well, dude, I mean, the media is failing. The mainstream media has been on a decline.
Yeah.
So what
that's
happens when a big case happens? People are glued to the TV. And if all the information, oh, by the way, TMZ, I mean, you know, it's this is right up the alley, and it has all the benchmarks of what I'm saying I think it is. And I mean, you're talking about billions of dollars in advertising revenue for the people that advertise in the mainstream media, for the shareholders in these companies, billions of dollars. So the idea to me personally that they wouldn't fake or exploit a situation for money is not realistic, in my opinion, based on what I know.
And it does look, I mean, I did a quick look, and there's no indication I saw that her career was having problems. She was scheduled to be a major part of the 2026 Olympics, it sounds like, and the only reason she stepped down with that is because of this event that happened. But
yeah, I've never seen anything about that at all. I have that backstage. There you go. Okay. Hold on. Make sure the volume is all the way up. There we go.
Wow. You have to have hope. You have to have hope. You can't, come on, this is somebody's mom. We're going to find her. We're just not going to give up hope. We hope she's out there somewhere.
So you still believe this is an active rescue mission at this point?
We hope so.
I know you've been in contact with Savannah, who we know is in Tucson. What is your message to her and the Guthrie family and all the viewers who care so much about Savannah?
We're not going to give up. We'll get this.
Sheriff, we thank you for your time. I know you're busy, and I'm going to be praying that you find Nancy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Zach, what do you make of that?
I mean, I get it. We're in this era of.
all right, what do you think?
He's a terrible actor.
I mean, I don't have enough tape on this guy to notice. Is his voice always scratchy, or is that? I mean, like, is that the way he talks normally? Okay.
No, and I think he's crying because everybody's pointing out the Rico stuff, like with him again. Everybody went back to that. Okay, that's what I think he's crying about, because it's coming back to the table. This is why he's such an asshole, and why he holds a grudge with the FBI, and he's pissed off because he got brought up on Rico charges at one point, so on and so forth. The guy is a snake, folks. The dude has a reality show. Okay, in Tucson, he runs a reality show about his department. How unprofessional is that? I'm sorry. Okay,
that's crazy.
I can't even.
Everybody wants to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe he called up Hitler and said, "How do I fake cry?"
I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about Hitler's crying in the courtroom during the
My favorite fake crying video of all time is when the spokesperson for the Pentagon fake cried, and it was the most fake of fake cries that I've ever seen. John Kirby, the spokesperson, he was, at least at the time, the spokesperson for the Pentagon. And his fake cry, guys, it was like a really bad, I can't even explain it. If anybody saw it, it's like, wow, this is the worst I've ever seen, and he's trying to pull it off.
Is that it right there?
What?
Is this it behind? I think I have what JJ's talking about. Is this it, JJ?
I don't know if this is the one where he cries, but that's the guy, John Kirby.
Let's see here real quick.
Whether you agree with his logic, do you believe that Putin is a rational actor?
I'm not a psychologist. Barely got a history degree from the university.
Oh yeah.
What he's doing, and look at the. Sorry. It's difficult. Sorry. It's difficult to look at some of the images and imagine that any well-thinking, serious, mature leader would do that. So I can't talk to his psychology, but I think we can all speak to his depravity.
This is the Pentagon, guys. Their job is to kill people, and he's crying. It's like it's such an insult to the public's intelligence, man. It's like, and if you ever seen this guy's interviews, he's such a snake, man. A slimy snake.
I was going to say that, but yeah, thank you. Now, what kills me is Bill Thompson with his crying stuff was so, it just didn't fit. Sorry. It didn't fit. But anyway, moving on.
No.
I was trying to find for you.
I was gonna say maybe we'll see Bill Thompson's real crying and Ashley Jennings' real crying when we see all the lying and all the shit comes back at them. Then we might get to see the real cry.
I would pay money to watch Ashley cry. She's so
I gotta say though, Bill Thompson's fake cry was pretty. That was
the
pretty
best?
epic. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
that was a really good one. I have to admit.
Well, then you got Hipper that's sitting there going,
yeah, like Erica Kirk.
like, what are you doing, dude? Quit.
Oh man, I tried to find something funny for you guys, but fuck. The only clip I can find is Instagram, and Instagram tells me I have to log in, and I don't have my username and password to log in, so I can't freaking get it for you. But
sausage biscuit, that's a good one. There's a governor in Kentucky that got on TV and cried because he got caught cheating on his wife. It was really the mistress that busted him with another mistress. It's the worst fake cry ever, and I did see that. Sausage, you were right. It was horrible.
That one takes the cake. Yeah,
the worst I've ever seen. Yes.
So I'm curious in the Guthrie case, they came out and told us that they didn't have a subscription to Nest, so we can only get, 3 hours, blah, blah, blah. And then they come out with this picture and the dude doesn't have the backpack on and a different pair of shoes, but the same clothes, which I do think is strange. Why he's wearing the same clothes and it's not like, black or anything. But anyway, and that was from January 11th. So how did they get that footage? I'm not a tech person. I just don't understand how they got it.
Well, that's a good question because they said, Logan, they couldn't get any footage. And then all of a sudden they got the first set of footage. Then they got the second set. What's coming next? Are we going to have the entire night inside the house with Nancy and everything? I mean, they keep saying they can't do this, but then they do it.
Well, they're going to just piecemealing it. They're going to keep piecemealing it little by little, keep everybody watching. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they probably have other video too.
I'm sure they do. They probably have stuff that shows everything. They're just not showing it.
I mean, I don't even literally the most basic things that I hear from the mainstream media, I automatically assume it's a lie.
No, yeah, right. And Peter Parker just said something that somebody pointed out to me earlier in my show. That the two photographs are that there's two different pair of shoes. So it would make sense if they're 2 different days then. And I have yet to go back and look at it. Now, something else I wanted to ask you guys, I keep forgetting it, but did you see the side-by-side comparison with the guy that JLR interviewed by, I think his name was Jason?
Yes. I watched it on your live today, and that was wild.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. Wow is right.
I was like, wait a minute. And of course, because of that, we went and started digging in the Discord and people putting things together. And I'm telling you guys, as much as I swore up and down that guy was Lucas Daly, now there's a thing right here on this guy's lip that it's like, what the shit, guys? I don't know who the hell this is, but it looks like this guy now too.
Wow.
What about the tattoo, though? Did it not go down far enough?
The tattoo definitely did not match the first thing I looked at, Logan. It's way up high. It's like way up here. So I'm like, who the hell is this guy? But he had the ring on.
Of something on somebody's mouth, and I'm not trying to change the subject. I just want to say it while it's on my mind. Did you guys see Jeffrey Epstein's gonorrhea on his mouth?
No.
He sent a video to his doctor, and it's him with gonorrhea, and his whole I can't. It's just like huge and swollen all over his mouth, and it's a side effect of gonorrhea.
Ew.
And it's so gross. You can
I
find
can't. I
it.
can't imagine how he got gonorrhea.
I mean, I
On
don't
his
know.
mouth?
Yeah.
On his mouth?
I was gonna ban his name from our channel after the fiasco, but
No, that was a different
I'll be right back after that.
I'd leave too. Yeah, I'd leave too.
I mean, you know,
I forgot to take my gonorrhea medicine. Let me go take it. No, I'm just kidding.
with all the shit storm that's been happening around the Epstein thing. Speaking of which, I started watching another really good Whitney Webb interview on Redacted. If anybody's ever watched that show, Redacted, on YouTube, there's a really good one. It's fairly recent with Whitney Webb. I think it's in the last few days. So if anybody wants to follow somebody, if you don't already, that's an amazing researcher. She goes deep, and everything she's talked about for years has played out. Everything. She predicted everything that's happening right now. But with all the Epstein stuff, they're scrambling. You know, they're the government and the intelligence agencies are scrambling. And you know what they say, when people, I said it before, when people are desperate, they're dangerous. And you never know what's coming down the pike, because they're going to keep hitting us with distractions. That is my prediction.
Good. It would make sense. It would make sense. But I'm going to forget this if I don't say this real quick. And I know this is off subject, but did you see that in the Charlie Kirk situation, that the judge denied Tyler Robinson's motion to completely disqualify the entire prosecution?
Say that again.
Tyler Robinson and his team put in a motion to try to completely disqualify the entire prosecution. Okay. The entire prosecution, and they denied it. I'm not going any further into the case than that. I just wanted to say they denied it. I just thought, like, as ridiculous as that motion is, thank God they did that, because it's ridiculous. But I'm just saying.
Well, just a quick note. One probably knows this. Candace Owens has been off the air for this week, basically for a little while, and she released a video yesterday. She's doing a deep dive documentary into Erica Kirk, and it's coming out, I think, this week.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
So I told you, man, you don't want to get her on your bad side.
Nope.
I have to do this now. Erica Kirk. I've been waiting. You just gave me a great segue. Oh my God! Have you guys seen the memes all over TikTok about normal grieving wives versus Erica Kirk?
Yes.
These are fucking hysterical. I gotta play one.
They
are you ready?
Stupid funny.
There's a million of them, but this is one of them. Normal grieving wives versus Erica Kirk. Yeah, I mean, that's some shit, and there's a million of them of her flying through the air doing somersaults on trapeze.
No, that's what I do when I grieve. Don't you guys do that? Jump up and down like that? Come on.
One of the funniest that I saw real early on was like, nothing says grieving like pyrotechnics and a sequin pantsuit. I mean, it's just, but here's the thing though, because I follow other people too, like Baron Coleman, who's been all over this case. He's a lawyer, really good. You know, he was a radio guy and he's really good. And he was on Candace recently and stuff. But when I saw that she's doing an actual straight up documentary about Erica Kirk, I said, oh shit, this shit's gonna get ugly now, man.
She gave a little hint of it like about a week ago as well.
It's gonna be nasty.
So she's basically linking her to all kinds of like trafficking and all kinds. It's gonna be a mess.
Well, did you see the preview video one?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched the preview video, and I was like, "Oh, fuck.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad because
Is it going to be the Romanian Angels kind of angle thing, or no?
it's like full on deep dive.
Yeah,
like
that's part of it. That's part of it.
But
is
like,
gonna be part of
because
it,
when
yeah.
Candace does those deep dives, she
Yeah.
leaves no stone unturned. Like
There'll be no survivors with this. She's gonna come out with war paint on and claws extended.
There are no
It's over.
survivors.
Yeah, so
it's over.
at the very least, it'll be interesting to see
Oh God,
the shit that gets stirred up.
I have a feeling Erica's going to disappear at some point, like just from the face of the media. Period. End of story. She's going to go into hiding or something because I can't imagine Candace when she goes that direction with something. Forget it. You're done. Just retire, fold it up, put it away, and leave.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think
yeah.
when she singles you out, if anybody knows anything or whether you like her or not, I don't even care.
You don't have to. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't even care. When she
Right.
singles, if she singles somebody out, she does not play around, man. She is like a dog with a bone, man. She will chew you up.
Yes, she's gonna shred her. I'm sorry. That's why we said when we were covering the Cobain thing, Courtney Love handed over her manifesto, or not manifesto, but handed her over a bunch of paperwork and stuff like this about the story and all that. And I said, "Oh Jesus Christ!" Like that was probably.
Yeah.
I'm glad she did, but you're done now, Courtney, because Candace will dive into that and just destroy her.
If Candace, if she jumps on that.
Sausage Biscuits just said it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, well, plenty to talk about then because that is.
Oh boy,
I can't even imagine.
We should definitely see if we can mention it tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be pretty interesting.
Well, I'm sure there's pieces we won't be able to mention, but there's definitely things we could.
Yeah, because like just imagine Courtney Love when this Erica Kirk thing, if it dies down, if Candace decides to put Courtney in her crosshairs, oh man,
oh, it's amazing. It's funny too because Courtney is she knows, Candace has like 5 million subscribers on YouTube, so
that's not even what it is.
She knows that Candace has such a. Well, Courtney has her book. She has a book that's coming out, and she wants, publicity and all this stuff for her book. But Candace has such a way about her. If she decides to follow that thread, she'll go along with Courtney, and Courtney will think like, oh yeah, like she's helping her, and she'll just take away the layers of the onion, and
that's the whole point. The reason why this all happened with Erica is because they had that sit down, and then after that, Candace kept talking about shit, and then Turning Point was attacking her. Well, guess who's the CEO now of Turning Point?
Right.
So if Candace thinks that Courtney is jerking her around, she will eviscerate her.
Yeah.
Right. Am I too loud, you guys?
Well, no, I don't think so. In fact, you got really quiet early on, and I had to put you up.
You're actually lower.
You're louder than you normally. You were really low for a while.
I turned down earlier because somebody said something about our levels, so I thought it was me with this stupid microphone.
No, in fact, when you turned yourself down, it was so low I had to put you back up. So I'm fighting against you, I guess.
It sounds perfect on our end, but for some reason, I've seen people in chat say that it's loud too. But it sounds different, I think, on our end or good on our end.
Yeah, it sounds great on our
end.
In fact, if you fix it for your end, in your endo, it will not sound good in our endo.
Well, I think it's Peter Parker asked if I have a gate. What the hell's a gate on your microphone?
I have a gate on mine. Can you see it?
I see a gate.
A screen? Like a filter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a windscreen?
Yeah, I have one over
You don't spit on your microphone all the time?
No, I have one on mine.
It's a Hawk-Tua.
And I have another thing.
I'm glad you get the reference. I wasn't sure anybody remembered Hawk-Tua.
Do you know who else you don't want to get on the bad side of?
Who?
Tim Dillon.
Who's Tim Dillon?
He's a big comedian. He's been going on the Young Turks a lot lately because he's a comedian and he's one of the funniest human beings on the planet. He's so intelligent and witty. He will shred people with humor in the way he does bits, just ripping people apart in the most brilliant way. If anybody doesn't follow Tim Dillon, he's big. I mean, you could find him easily. He is epic, man. He with the Erica Kirk stuff and all that, man. Watch some of Tim Dillon's videos.
Yeah.
But if you want an example to see of Candace Owens kind of ripping something apart, she did a multi-part series. I'm sure a lot of people watched the series Making a Murderer on Netflix with Stephen Avery.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch Candace's, like, her kind of take on it and explanation, she pretty much rips that documentary to shreds. It's pretty interesting.
She scares me when she starts going on somebody. I get scared. I'm not even the person she's going after. Literally, it like makes me uneasy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's funny though.
Yeah, it is funny, definitely.
Unless you're the one behind the
right, because she'll do it with a straight face. Like she'll shred people calmly, like, and it's when she makes that face when she plays somebody talking, and just the face that she makes that's my favorite part of her whole show. Is that when she just like she'll play somebody talking shit about her, and the way she shreds them is classic.
It's classic. It is.
All right. Does anybody have any special thing you hoped we talked about, but we ran too long talking about other shit? Anybody have any hot topic item or?
I just want to say thank you to Savannah Guthrie for donating $500,000 to NCMEC, because that means a lot to the people who don't have lots of money and they don't do the things to help find missing people like they do for Nancy Guthrie because they don't have the money. So that was really cool that she did that.
Yes. Yeah,
that was for
amazing.
For children, right? That found.
Yeah.
So did you guys hear about this Queen for a Day thing? And one you might have heard about it, where they allow the person who did it or people who know who did it to come forward and not be charged criminally just so they know who did it. But it's called Queen for a Day. You can come forward and say, yeah, I did this, or I know who did this, and XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And they don't get charged for it. And I'm like, gosh, there's a lot of missing children cases I wish they'd do that for.
Right. Absolutely.
For real. Yeah, that was a good shout out, because when we played that today at my show, I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. And she's sitting here talking about her mother being missing and what they did, and then at the same time, right thereafter, said they were donating $500,000 to that, and I was like, wow, that's
amazing. It was absolutely. I mean, there's so many people that go missing, kids and adults. So many people go missing every day, and they don't get even 2 minutes of anyone's time.
Yeah, you're right. I wonder if she sat back and thought, man, I couldn't imagine doing this with not $1 to my name. Going through it, not being able to hire people to help you or look or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be more attention paid to. I covered that for quite a while, probably 2 years straight. I covered missing children like almost every day, and there's so many of them.
So many.
I even called, because here in Ohio, we had a story I broke, and I went off air from one of my shows, and I got an update on something, and I went like, "What the hell?" Where they were talking about 1,000 kids had gone missing within a 6-month period of time. So I went live.
I'm curious. Do you guys know? I don't know the answer to this. When it comes to like raising funds for, tips and stuff like that, can crowdsourcing, like a GoFundMe or whatever, be used to raise funds with only the release of the funds if they actually get a tip, and then return the money to the people who donated if there's no tip by a certain time? Like, could they do that where the public could like donate and say, I'm willing to donate if it actually led to a tip, but I'm not going to donate if it doesn't bear fruit? I'm not just giving the money to give it. Like, is there any way to do that or not?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I got banned for no reason at all, but can't keep a good, honest woman down. I hope you didn't get banned on our show.
Yeah.
Mine
Yeah,
either.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wondered. I haven't seen her in a while.
You can't get banned with devil in your name. Come on.
Right. I mean, how exactly? How do you get banned with devil in your name? Unless it's like
YouTube has
one of
been doing
27
some weird stuff lately, though. I went to go
Yeah.
get a screenshot of Glitch DNA to make a thumbnail, and I know I had even the bell on for her to get her notifications, and it said I wasn't subscribed anymore. And I was like,
Yes.
hold on.
They do that all the time.
What the heck?
I remind people constantly, if you want to be subscribed to the channel, double check, because sometimes they just unsubscribe you. I'm glad to see her back though, because I hadn't seen her in a while. So
that move of unsubscribing people happens a lot over
Yes.
another platform.
Yeah.
They've decided they'll decide what number they want you to be at, no bigger, and then they'll just unsubscribe people from you to keep you at that number until, and it's horrible. It's the shadow banning kind of thing. Like, well, we've decided they're never going to be bigger than XYZ, so we'll just unsubscribe people.
They do the same thing with our
number.
channels, Lee. They'll put us in an algorithm for a while, and then they just take us right back out of it for no reason. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, they have certain algorithms, like if people talk about certain things, they will flag you, like shadow ban you behind the scenes, so you don't know you're getting dinged.
It happened to me.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, because my ex account, pretty quickly I got to like 2,500 subscribers, and then because I'm a straight up truth teller and I don't play games, they just started dinging me. And I have like some of the, it doesn't matter, but I'll do a post. I have posts that'll have like 5 views. Posts that I've put up that'll have 0 views. That's almost impossible. And then I've emailed them so many times. It's a game. It's a game.
Well,
it's all about advertisers, and if certain people talk about certain things, they will literally ding you behind the scenes. You don't even know what's being done.
I got shut down for 7 days because somebody that was on my show, Sarge, brought up the big C, the pandemic, right? And I'm like, I didn't even say it, but he said something about it, and I got a warning, and they shut me down for 7 days. I went in, I won, I argued it, and I got an email back. And here's what I think the problem is with all of this, is that they use bots to run most of this, okay? And it's not a human being looking at this saying, this is wrong, this is right, whatever. But that's a big problem, I think. You can't have a computer looking at a computer saying, this shouldn't happen or that. They make mistakes all the time. It needs to be a human being watching what's going on, in my opinion. So that's where I think a lot of the problems come from.
Well, during the spring of 2020, we all know what started in the spring of 2020. I was very outspoken about what was going on, and Facebook, just before the Twitter files, we knew about the backdoor access to the social media. All of a sudden, I could not post any link on my Facebook. If I wanted to post a Stevie Ray Vaughan video, they would block me from posting anything. And I emailed Facebook multiple times, and they ignored my emails. And I'm like, what? Why can't I post anything? And everybody was like, oh, you're crazy, you're paranoid. And then it all came out, what was going on during that time with social media. People were getting clipped by the government from backdoor access. So that shit goes on all the time.
It does. It does. I went through the blacklisting thing twice, which is why I'm only sitting at 12,000 subscribers after 4 years. Every time I started to get to a certain point, I was thrown to the back again.
They do it all the time, dude. Lee hit the nail on the head. They decide, all right, this is what these guys talk about. This is the level that we're going to keep them at. And you have to fight to get past that level. and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's such a cheap ass fuckery way to do things, because you're doing it in the dark behind the scenes and people don't even know. They can't do anything about it. If you get on a list, that's it. You're screwed.
Well, I don't
What
do the
What do you
whole.
mean? I thought we had freedom of speech.
Well,
Yeah.
If you have freedom of speech, you don't have freedom of reach. That's the thing.
Right.
I don't.
And that's
I
the
don't.
biggest cop out in the world.
Yeah, I don't do the whole pew pew thing and unalived and this and that. And I think that might be part of my problem, because it drives me nuts to talk that way. So I just say what I say. You know what I mean? And I think that could be part of the problem, because it happens so very often to me. Like, my numbers will go up and then they tank, and then they go up and then they tank. It's repeated. It's ridiculous. So
Real quick, I want to get the comment off the screen that's been hanging for forever, because I don't want to have it to sit there forever. We can talk about that if we want to, but I think the general answer to your question is, I think almost everyone on the panel, and in fact, if you don't think this way, probably is a great opportunity for you to say so, think that there's more to Charlie Kirk's assassination than just the simple some radical decided to shoot him. I think most of us think that there's more to it. I used to cover it pretty heavily when it first started, and it got so political that I kind of backed away from it. It's still something I'm watching. I'm still interested to see what comes out, but I'm afraid that it becomes so polarizing because of the type of person that Charlie Kirk was, that even when you try to, anyways, it is what it is. I think most people here, and I will, one more plug about this before we take it off screen. I do a show called Fireside Chat, where I take a lot of the comments that didn't get addressed by the panel and give you a much longer explanation. So this is probably one I'm gonna highlight and talk about longer on my Fireside Chat coming up. So anyways, if you guys want to chime in on the general answer, if you think there's more to Charlie Kirk's death than what meets the eye, then you can do so. If not, I'll just cover it on the Fireside.
Yeah, I mean, there's no.
I mean, just like I'd say from the beginning. I mean, just the picture of that they released in the beginning, it's not the same person. You know, they release different photos. I've covered a few times. One of the ways I know, for those new in here, we've brought it up a few times. Even if you have identical twins, no two people have the same ears. Okay, you can tell people different from their ears. So it's a kind of I shouldn't be giving away all the tricks, all the tools of the trade, but it didn't seem like the same. Just that alone, just a photo alone. I know there's like a million other things, but
yeah, and the amount of firearms experts, because a lot of special forces guys have YouTube channels, so there was such an array of videos put out by experts. These are people who know firearms. They've been in combat. They know what it looks like when someone gets shot with different types of rounds. And so the evidence does not support the official narrative at all.
Right.
It simply doesn't. So take into consideration who Charlie Kirk was. Now, with what we've been learning about Turning Point and a lot of the other things that were going on in the background that Charlie was looking into. He wanted an audit of Turning Point, that he was speaking out against. We all know who he was starting to speak out against.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 weeks later, he's taken out. So, I mean, I won't go too much into it, because this is stuff that I have dug into quite a bit. But just the firearms part alone, forget everything else. Forget all the other things. The experts that have come out and done testing to show that even with frangible rounds, it would have penetrated his neck. A 30-06 round, even a frangible round, would have penetrated his neck. And based on the ballistics and what came out supposedly with the autopsy, even still, it does not support that it was a 30-06 round or a frangible round.
if it was a true 30-06 round, by the way, there would have been so much more damage done. Just
Oh
based
yeah,
on
I mean,
my experience.
gruesome beyond what we
Yeah.
can even talk about. Like,
Exactly.
I saw the video up close when it happened, not
too.
knowing they were going to show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
And that
I
in
think
and
we
of
all did.
itself was shocking.
And it definitely, from my experience, and as a first responder, I've seen a lot of gunshots. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way when it came out that it was a 30-06 with that type of a bolt action rifle with that type of round. I was like, wait a minute, what? That to me, it was just like it just doesn't. It should. I don't want to get gross in here, guys. I'm trying not to, but if you don't know this, but if you do, you do. I'll just tell you that much. Like, there shouldn't have been much left there after that if that was truly what was used, and it definitely was not what it was, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, dude, I've shot a
22.
30-06,
I'll say
and
22,
that is a
JJ.
very powerful
Yeah.
rifle.
Right.
I went and did a show that on my channel, and we pulled up a video of a moose being shot with that round. Holy shit!
Yeah.
So if you can imagine that, what that was like compared to a human body, especially that part, no way in hell. Sorry.
And then the rifle that he supposedly used, he would not be able to break it down.
Not that
and
fast. No.
put it in his backpack, go like
Put it back
climb down
together.
and then put it back together that quick and hide it at it's
It was dumb.
you don't have to believe me. Again, there are experts who said it's could his rifle be broken down? Any rifle can be broken down. Absolutely. Not in that time, not in the time period, and then put back together that quickly.
Especially now with his inexperience too. That unless
No.
you're like an absolute Green Beret, special marksman, something, even those guys, it would have
Even
taken
those
longer.
guys. Yeah. Even I listened to a lot of marksman guys that said there's no way.
And the narrative that came out immediately was, oh, he had some shooting experience, and then it was all these guys coming out saying, oh, that's an easy shot, 120 yards.
Yep.
And then I said, and I said this to DA right from the very beginning. I said, yeah, shooting at a target at a range.
Yeah.
But when you're a person who's never shot a human being, and you're now shooting to kill a human being, it's a very, very different situation.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
100%.
I mean, and again, I mean, along that line, I've said it before. One of the first times I encountered that was during the Vietnam War, like way back. They found that there was a obscene amount of miss rates because soldiers didn't want to fire on other human beings. Even in war, they didn't want to fire on human beings because there's a part of the people that just, even when they know they're the enemy, they have a hard time killing other people. Most people, unless of course you've got sociopathic type behavior or something. But yeah, so
and when. Sorry, go ahead, Lee.
Something to factor in. It's just something to factor in whether or not that was a realistic shooting. But.
Well, that and the fact that when they grabbed Charlie and ran to the vehicle with him, I watched the entire thing beginning to end. Once again, based on my experience, I didn't see one drop of blood hit the ground. Okay, I went back and was like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on? He should have been pouring like a faucet. Not to be gross, but there wasn't any. So again. You guys take it for what it is, but I'm going to tell you, there's something wrong.
Well, Diego, did you hear the stuff that came out about the radio, the dispatch saying that there was a body hanging out of the vehicle on the way?
Yeah,
like
well,
that's crazy shit.
One of the interviews I heard with one of his
the head security
said that the door was open and he was hanging out the door trying to work on Charlie. So that could be realistic because he told that story, but still something's off with this whole thing, every bit of it.
Yeah.
And now that we know that tomorrow's going to be interesting, I'll just say that much. Because again, Candace going after, and there's been many people going after Erica on this point. So we'll see. That's all I can say.
As soon as as soon as she posts that, I'm gonna download it before.
Yeah, it'll get
Before it gets taken
Like,
off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll backdoor it. And
That's one of the things that we're starting to learn on this show is as soon as there's a document dump, we download it immediately because we've seen too many times, like in the Idaho case in particular, where they retract it within an hour of putting it out, you know.
I did see a creator turn a page today that I was surprised to see. We all know the Delphi case. There's been an appeal filed.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to hit on everything tonight.
I guess so.
But Annie Elise, yeah, it was that channel. She was a guilter through and through, from what I remember, right? So Richard Allen did it no matter what, blah, 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 so on and so forth. She was all about the bullet. Today she put the video out about, well, I guess maybe he didn't. And I went, what? Oh boy.
Wow.
Okay.
Did she finally read the appeal or something? Or
I guess because
that appeal had some weight to it.
And I'm like, there's gonna be so much more. And here's my thing with this statement. This is why I brought this up, because between that and what I believe is gonna happen in Idaho, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be either throwing their computers out the window and getting the fuck off of YouTube, period, or they're going to open their eyes finally and see what we're seeing and say, "Oh my God,
this question's for everyone here, but maybe more of a JJ type of question, which is that is there any possibility that if there was, for example, a post-conviction relief and overturning of the plea deal of Kohberger, and an overturning of the conviction of Richard Allen due to things, if those two things happen within a short period of time, will there be any push towards reform in America, that we have such high profile cases that get overturned because of our obsession with hiding shit and rushing to convictions? Will it have a positive impact at all? Was it, I'm just curious what the outcome will be if there's high profile cases back to back that get overturned because of our corrupt system.
That's a great question.
I think that, I hate to say it, but I only think there will be reform if it hurts people politically or financially, because they don't care if the public's mad.
Yeah.
They look at what's going on in the world right now. They couldn't care less if the public is outraged. It's only if it hurts somebody high up politically, or it hurts somebody's wallet, somebody high up the chain. So that's my take on it. Unfortunately, it's sad.
Yeah, and I think Peter Sky Parker's comment, when I was growing up, I don't remember anybody who said it or was quoted with it, but when I was growing up, I was told the basis of the American justice system was we as a nation would rather see a few guilty people walk for something that they did than for one innocent man to go to jail, or woman to go to jail for something they didn't do. That was kind of like a principle that we stood on, is that, we'll allow a system to be a little lenient on the bad guys and even let them have a loophole or two, rather than have one single person go to jail for something that they didn't do, because that's the more horrendous thing, is somebody went to jail for something they didn't do.
Well, it's because I agree with you, and that's, Jesus, it's weird because I remember the same shit when I was younger. Because what it does is it takes, and it, in my opinion, I'm sorry, but it dissolves the grounds that this country were built on by doing it. Okay, so they're in turn, if we're going to lean on something, I guess we should lean that way, because otherwise, once again, they're crinkling up the Constitution if you do it the other way. So
how do we Sorry, JJ.
No, I was just going to comment on sort of piggyback on what Dago said. I just started reading a pretty crazy book. It's called The Secret Founding of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped right to the section about Freemasons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things so far, because I'm trying to get back into reading more again.
Yeah,
and there are things in there right out of the gate that I did not know. And it is really interesting. And they have received, the book has a lot of like the, information to back up what they're saying. It's not a fun book to read, because it's real dense, but
I read something
crazy.
now that you brought that up, I read something probably 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, where a lot of since you brought up the Masons, a lot of political figures, presidents, heads of state, whatever, at some point belonged to.
Oh yeah, it's and this is not like everybody kind of knows about this stuff. To look at our monetary, look at our bills, you know, but there are things in there that tie a lot of other things together that I suspected them, but I didn't know that it was pretty concrete that this is the way it happened. So that book anyway has a lot to do with our Constitution.
Yeah, real quick, I want to piggytail off that a little bit. This book right here was a book that I read about half of, The Secret Architecture of Our Nation's Capital, Masons in the Building of Washington, D.C. And it was, so I grew up with a lot of religious stuff. And so watching them lay out how the entire city streets of DC were laid out in symbols. You can see the symbols from the air on the streets and how it was laid out by the architect that way, and how they were, and like that book, again, a very, very dense book. But if you're interested in that, it also, like, it blew me away. Like the head of NASA opens up with the preface on it saying, this, you know, I'm a Mason and everything they said in this book is actually true. This is one of the most amazing monumental books you should ever read. And it was one of my first introductions to that topic as well. So I don't know how much that book you're reading dovetail with that, but
this one here this is probably one of the most, I threw this backstage. This book scared the shit out of me. I think I was 20 or 21 when I read this book.
How come I can't add it to stage? Let's see.
That when I was young, that book there, holy shit!
Yeah.
I have that book.
I think I've read that too. Yeah.
When I was 20 years old, I think I read that, and it was before I was introduced to a lot of what we know now.
Yeah.
But if you haven't read that book, be careful, because if you're not used to that kind of stuff, holy shit, it'll scare you.
I just wrote it down so I can buy it.
Oh my god!
My camera doesn't want to.
Your camera's not allowing you to do the Illuminati book much.
Yeah,
you're about to become a completely different channel. Shut it down. Shut it down. You're about to become a completely different channel.
There you go.
You get the all-seeing eye. That's awesome. That's awesome.
But that Skull and Bones book is crazy, you guys.
Yeah, I have a lot of books like that. And
that was my first one, JJ. The first one I ever read, which I probably shouldn't have read that one first, but when I did, I was like, and then I was paranoid for 2 weeks after that about everything. So,
and by the way, just we won't go too far down the rabbit hole, but the Skull and Bones, the societies, the Greek system, the fraternities, it all kind of wraps together. So then you can dovetail into Idaho 4, the fraternity life and the Greek life and the whole system of ritual. And it's and tapping people for being part of the secret societies and all that shit. It's a thing. You could go down a major.
There's another book along the lines of what we're talking about. It's called None Dare Call It a Conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
And it basically it connects a lot of dots, basically. You have the Illuminati and the Freemasons. Some people don't know that they were connected.
Right.
You have like the banking and things like that. This is part of the stuff I'm going to be talking about on my channel, and I've been doing a lot of organizing of information just to get ready, because I also have to have subsequent episodes and topics. So I've been aggregating tons of information for the last month or so. And it's a lot of this kind of stuff, but that's not how I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to like give lectures about this stuff. I'm going to connect dots and talk about it, but
it's like a train wreck, you guys. Once you start, like when I started reading it, and then I didn't want to read it, but I couldn't stop reading it. Okay.
Right.
So
yeah, thank you, Dago, for putting that up.
I'm just being like realistic, guys. When you brought up the Masons, and then the thing about the Skull and Bones book that I read, it intertwines, like Lee said, so many different things, and you're like, oh my god, that too, and that too, and that too. How the hell did that fit in there? But it all goes together. It's crazy. It's wild.
And for people who don't know, Skull and Bones is a secret fraternity at Yale. Yeah. And it's been there for a very, very long time. and it's all people from elite families that end up essentially running the world.
Yeah.
And that was the story, is that was essentially the seed for the CIA's creation.
The elite. That's right.
And it happened in Skull and Bones. And
Really?
you can't try to get into Skull and Bones. You're picked. You're tapped to be in it.
It reminds me, I got to share this moment. This show went off the fucking rails a little while ago. I'm going to share this, and then we're going to get out of this, I assure you. But I wanted to show you this. I thought it was pretty funny. Do you remember Jim Carrey made fun of this whole thing when he came on the Jimmy Kimmel show? Watch this. And then Kimmel asks him, "What's with that?" And he's like, "You know. You don't pretend like you don't know." And he rips him about being in the secret societies and this and that. And he's like, it's like the joke that's right in your face, and people in Hollywood all know about it, and everybody knows about it, and they just
it's just like the
yes, right, exactly. I was gonna do this on the way out, but I was like, nah.
Right.
All right, you know what? Let's get the hell off the air before it becomes a train wreck. Let's go around the horn.
Whoa.
Robin won one. We'll go Logan, JJ, and then Dago, and then I'll close out. So Robin, you get the first shot at saying goodnight. Let's wrap this sucker up.
Well, thank you very much for coming out. I'm sorry I sound a little bit like crap. I'm starting to get the crud. So that's why I've been a little
the internet flu
energetic tonight. But it was still wonderful being here with everyone. And thanks for everyone who came out tonight. And for all of those of you on the replay crew, you mean just as much to us as anybody else. And we, thanks to all the mods and all the chats. You guys are just amazing. And so glad that Logan was able to be back with us tonight. So that she was here with us. And congrats, 1-1. So happy with you. So just so proud of you. And you deserve it. That's for sure. So, but hope everyone has a wonderful night, and we'll be back again tomorrow.
Ooh, somebody wants to know how you can't spring that shit on us when we're in the middle of the close.
I think they're connected too.
They are right along with the floor 4.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be another topic for another night.
We gotta hit that topic.
Yes, they definitely are, maybe.
All right, 1-1. Congratulations on your upcoming or kind of promotion in the bag and all that good stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks to the panel and all of our great members, mods, all of you, Amanda, Penny, whoever's here. Thank you, Lee, for letting me explain the promotion process and stuff. I know people get interested in some of that stuff, but I love being here. I'm not going anywhere, so my schedule may change a little bit. I'm getting a new position and whatnot, but I'm here to stay. So I know I saw some comments in the chat like, "Oh, am I leaving the panel?" I'm not leaving unless I get fired. That's a different story.
Then you'll need to be here even more, so you have somewhere to go.
Right. But thanks everyone. A side comment to JJ. I know there's a million. I've actually mentioned it before. I think it's Lee and JJ used to have. They used to make some videos together for members only. I would be interested if you mentioned the Philadelphia experiment. Down the line, or some of your, or somewhere, some thread or some way.
Yeah, I speaking of that real quick, it would be cool because JJ, he's going to go more into the conspiracy thing. And I actually have a very strong conspiracy bent myself. I just think it's a little outside the realm of the true crime thing that I'm doing. So I wouldn't mind talking to him if he ever invites me to kind of do some of that kind of stuff on his show too, because I think it is an area I'm really super interested in, but I just kind of like trying to not be as conspiratorial on here. But anyways, I appreciate you bringing that up because I love the Philadelphia experiment and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And great to have Logan back. Glad you're feeling better. sorry you missed our the first show of covering Princess Diana, but it was just the very, very beginning. We didn't really get into the meat and potatoes. So I'd say, if anything, you probably missed more of the boring type stuff. Not really boring, but so we will, hopefully have you back. But glad that you are feeling better. I will leave you with a movie quote.
Trivia. Let's do it.
You guys ready?
I'm
There you go.
ready.
You need a handicap.
As I'll ever
You say
get.
it every minute. Where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
We're
Christmas
all in this
Vacation.
together. This is a full-blown 4-alarm holiday emergency here. We're going to press on, and we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap dance with Danny fucking Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's going to find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
I love it. I love it.
That's my favorite movie. You should have picked a different one.
I would watch that every fucking Christmas.
All those are great.
First movie we put up for Christmas, though. That was, sorry guys, I couldn't hold back on that one.
Oh yeah, no, I know it was amazing. It was amazing. All right, Logan, what's up?
Thank you to the mods for being here and doing what you do. Thank you for the supers. Congratulations to Captain 101. That's so exciting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other than that, do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming back. I'm glad you're feeling better enough to do so, because I know you were really running. I know you wanted to be part of that whole Princess Diana thing.
Honestly, I'm so upset that I missed that, because I did so much research on her early years so I could be part of that. And I was so mad at myself.
Good. That sucks. All right, JJ, what's up?
Once again, congratulations, 1-1, man. That's a huge achievement, man. It's a big deal, man. You should be really proud, man. That's phenomenal, bro. That's great. And thanks to the advocates, the meatballs, the denizens, the believers, and the great mods once again. And I'll be taking a little time off, not being on as much, just so I could do more research and get my stuff together and be prepared and really read more. I really got to get back into reading a lot. So, but I'll be here as much as I possibly can for as long as you guys will have me. So thanks again to everybody. I'll be back on Friday.
All right. Sounds great and good to have you. I'm glad that you are going to keep making it a priority to be around, and I hope your show gets kicked off soon. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with that.
And I'll have all you guys on if you want to come on, man. We'll do episodes. We can, I'll tell you what topics I have on in the back burner and stuff like that, and just have conversations about it. Just discuss some different things that you guys might also be interested in.
Sounds great. I have thoughts, but I won't go crazy with them. But I have thoughts. And I want to share my thoughts.
Oh, I'm gonna pick everybody's brain. Believe me.
What's up, Diego?
100%. Like with the Manhattan Project, Montauk Project.
Oh yeah.
Philadelphia Experiment, Project Blue Book. I love that shit.
Oh
guys.
yeah.
Love that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, JJ. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for sure. Thank you to all of the mods. You guys are all absolutely amazing. 1-1. Congratulations, brother. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
100% Cap. And great show tonight as always. We touched on, I think, everything, just about everything. Great conversation as always. I'm looking forward to the next. And you guys make sure you have an amazing rest of your night. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and don't change a thing. You guys are the beautiful people, and we will see you very soon.
All right. Well, I was reading a comment where somebody was like, I hope your show gets kicked off soon. I was like, what? I don't know if that was sarcasm or not, but hey, I hope your show gets kicked off soon. Fucking DA made me spit my beer out. Damn it. That sounds like a funny thing if I made you spit your beer out.
Yeah, it was joking.
All right. So as for me and my house, we shall close the show down. That's something like that, I think. Anyways, thank you for coming again to another Crimes After Dark. We'll do it again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll probably do more members only live stuff tomorrow, more than likely. I won't try to burden the Crimes After Dark show every night with every little thing on Kopacka every day, even though I'm trying to work through some of those things. We will have other stuff coming in on other cases through public records requests, and I can't wait to be able to share with you some stuff that maybe nobody else has heard yet. That's kind of the best things that when we can share something new. So thank you all for coming. Again, I will be doing, I plan on doing a fireside chat again, pulling out some of the comments that I missed tonight that I want to riff on a little bit longer. Sometimes I don't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation, but I certainly have thoughts. So maybe I'll even share some thoughts tonight on some of those other things like Skull and Bones and stuff like that. Who knows? It's what kind of mood I'm in after we get done with the show. Thank you for checking us out. See you again tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel, and all that good stuff. Take it easy, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.